page 10.
Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom.
Ki Shmirah Shabbat on page 11. Ki Shmirah Shabbat El Yishmereni Utzilei Olamead Beino Uveini Utzilei Olamead Beino Uveini Et palela el shacharit vanit musaf ve'gamira ki toneni Utzilei Olamead Beino Uveini. Shabbat Shalom.
We are so grateful for the opportunity to welcome Shabbat together with you tonight. Our first Shabbat outdoors this year on our beautiful Bel Air campus. For those of you who aren't able to be here in person, we're grateful that you're joining us, but you're missing out. Let's be honest. That being said, for those of you who are here with us in person, one word of warning: the perfect seat now might not be the perfect seat in 5 or 10 minutes. We are rotating around the sun, and therefore we encourage you, don't be sheepish. If you're uncomfortable throughout the service, just get up and move to a different chair. It's totally fine. We want you to be comfortable as we enjoy Shabbat tonight. 2 days ago, we celebrated Juneteenth, commemorating the day when this nation finally delivered on its promise of freedom to those who had so long been denied. And yet we know that freedom remains elusive for so many, both here at home and throughout the world, including those still held captive in Gaza. So as we kindle our Sabbath lights tonight in joy, we also kindle them in prayer. We pray for their safety. We pray for their health. And we pray that the day soon arrives when they will be reunited with their loved ones. To light our Shabbat candles tonight, we invite Leslie, who even in this season of our people's concern, solidified her commitment to the Jewish people earlier this week.
Mazel Tov.
Leslie, we thank you for adding your thoughtfulness and passion to our people and to our community. We invite everyone to please rise for our people on page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav וציוונו להדליק נר של Shabbat. We continue with Lechuna Ranana. You may be seated on page 12. Lechuna Ranana, yai lai 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 lai, l'Adonai, yai lai 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 lai, Nahariah, yai lai 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 lai, Tzur Yishenu, yai lai lai lai. Let us sing out to God, the maker of all, sure and strong. Let all of creation from mountain to sea hear our song. Lechunenanena, yai lai 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 lai, l'Adonai, yai lai 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 lai, Nahariah, yai lai 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 lai, Tzur Yishenu, yai lai lai lai. For all of the wonder in all of God's light, we rejoice. So now let us listen with all of our hearts to hear God's voice. Lechunenanena, yai lai 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 lai, l'Adonai, yai lai 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 lai, Nahariah, yai lai 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 lai, Tzur Yishenu, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai.
לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבל לילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבל. We're on page 14. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתפילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבל. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבל. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם יסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבת תחילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבל. לך דודי לקראת קלה, יאללה, 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 פני שבת נקבל.
be seated. Turn to page 22 for Tzadik Katamar.
Tzadik Katamar yifrach ke'erez balvanon yizkeh shetulim beveit Adonai bechatrot Eloheinu yafrichu.
Od yenuvun beseva, teshenim ve'hananim yiyu lehagid ki hashar Adonai Suri, Suri,
Word. Sorry about that. That's my fault. Words from the Israeli poet Yehuda Amichai. I want to live till even the words of my mouth are nothing but vowels and consonants. Maybe just vowels. Soft sounds. The soul inside me is the last foreign language I am learning. I want to live until all the numbers are sacred. Not just one, not just seven, not just 12, not just 3, but all the numbers. The 23 fallen in the battle of Hulekat. 17 kilometers to the enchanted place. 34 nights. 129 days of grace. 300,000 speed of light years. 43 moments of happiness. And the number of the years of my life are still the number X. The history of 4,000 years and 45 minutes of a final at school. And the days and nights are without number, but they too shall be numbered. Even infinity will be sacred, and then I will find perfect rest. Please rise for our call to prayer on page 28.
Et Adonai
Baruch Adonai Ahavat Olam, page 32.
Please be seated.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, v'sholchenu v'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נקה יומם ולילה. לאהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. So this is Pride Month, and we also just had Juneteenth, and I thought it would be perfect for us to try something a little new tonight. I did it a couple of years ago. This song, Make Them Hear You, was written by Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty for the musical Ragtime. And though it was a civil rights song for Black Americans in the turn of the century in the 1900s, it really is for all people who are facing oppression and persecution. And so we hope that you enjoy this. And in the very middle, we're going to include the Shema. This is the part of the service where we would have the Shema. And as we ask for us to make everyone hear us and hear the plights of different people in our country, we also remember that the Shema, we are asking ourselves to listen and to hear our voices. This is also on the handout if you want to follow along with the words. Go out and tell our story, let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you, make them hear you. How justice was our battle and how justice was denied. Make them hear you, make them hear you. And say to those who blame us for the way we chose to fight, that sometimes there are battles that are more than black or white. And I could not put down my sword when justice was my right. Make them hear you. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto. Go out and tell the story to your daughters and your sons. Make them hear you, make them hear you. And tell them in our struggle we were not the only ones. Make them hear you, make them hear you. Your sword can be your sermon or the power of the pen. Teach every child to raise his voice, and then, my brothers, then will justice be demanded by 10 million righteous men. Make them hear you. When they hear you, I'll be near you again. And you shall love
And you shall love
Adonai
Adonai
with all your soul
with all your soul
and all your might.
and all your might.
And teach these words
And teach these words
through day and night
through day and night
to all your children.
all your children.
For it's their right.
For it's their right.
And wear them proudly as a sign upon your hand, and as a crown above your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on the gates throughout all time.
And you shall love
And you shall love
Adonai
Adonai
with all your soul
with all your soul,
and with all your might.
with all your might.
And teach these words
And teach these words
through day and night
through day and night
to all your children.
to all your children.
For it's their right.
For it's their right. And wear them proudly as a sign upon your hand, and as a crown above your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates throughout all time.
We'll continue with the words of Mi Chamocha on page 40. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Mi chamocha ha'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh. Malchutecha ובניך חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים זלינו ואמרו זלי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la.
More words from Yehuda Amichai. It's summer again, and here we are again. We know how much is required of us, we who are heavier than air, heavier than water. And how much is asked of the birds. They must sing courtship songs for the silent fish too. And what a burden on beasts who must roar out the joy of humans nestled in one another's arms. and how much is expected of two people like us who in our loving must keep and preserve those who have never been together or are now apart. We continue with a prayer for love, a prayer for understanding, a prayer for wholeness and peace. Hashkivenu, page 42.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, leshalom.
Ve'amidenu, shomreinu lechaim, ufros aleinu, sukat shlomecha.
Hashkivenu,
Hashkivenu
Adonai Eloheinu.
Eloheinu
Hashkivenu,
leshalom,
leshalom.
Hashkivenu, and understanding among us. Peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
To those of us who are eminently familiar with tragedy, or to those of us who are simply acquainted with the vagaries of life, offering a prayer for healing might feel like a cruel joke, because there are so many prayers for healing that go unanswered each and every day. And though the ground is littered with our tears over every unanswered prayer, that doesn't stop us from praying. That doesn't stop us from hoping. That doesn't stop us from believing that maybe, just maybe, a prayer can make all the difference in the world. We continue with our prayer for healing on page 253.
Mi sheberach avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We turn now to our personal prayers. Some people call them the Amida because they're typically recited when standing. Some people call them the tefillah, the prayer. All of our services are arranged around this one central prayer, which is designed to be our conversation with God. Our prayer begins on page 46 with a request for God to open our lips and ends with another request on page 62 with a request that God help us guard our lips and the things we say moving forward. And whether you are moved by the traditional words of our prayer, which can be found on the even pages, or the modern interpretations of our prayer, which can be found on the odd pages, or perhaps simply a prayer of the design of your own heart, we hope you find that inspiration tonight. Please rise for our Amida, and when you are finished, feel free to be seated.
Conclude our Amida on page 62 with Yehu L'Ratzon. Yehu L'Ratzon Imre Fi. Yehu L'Ratzon Imre Fi. Ve'yon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri ve'goali.
Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer.
There's a famous Hasidic folktale about a man known for spreading gossip in his village. Upon realizing the error of his ways, he approaches the town rabbi to beg forgiveness. The rabbi instructs him to take a feather pillow, cut it up, and scatter its contents to the wind. Delighted to be forgiven for performing such an easy task, the man quickly complies, and upon returning to the rabbi asks, "Am I now forgiven?" "Just one more small, insignificant thing," the rabbi replies. "You need to go and retrieve every last feather." "But that's impossible," says the man, exasperated. "Correct," replies the rabbi. "And though you earnestly wish to correct the evil you have wrought through your words, it would be far simpler to retrieve every last feather from that pillow." This simple yet illustrative tale speaks to the wide-ranging powers of our words, a power we innately understand, yet so often overlook. This past week, we celebrated Juneteenth, National Independence Day, in commemoration of the Emancipation Proclamation's publication throughout Texas, the last Confederate state to accept the law. But June 19th wasn't the day that every last slave in Texas went free. It was the day that the order was first posted in writing in Galveston. Similarly, on July 4th, we'll celebrate another Independence Day. But July 4th wasn't the day the colonies won their independence from Britain. It was the day that the members of our Continental Congress declared it. Our words shape reality, giving us beauty and insight, knowledge and skills, ideas and philosophies. Words gave us our tradition and its teachings. Words gave us the very infrastructure of our civilization, from cities and states to schools, businesses and communities, to computers and the internet, just as words gave us the freedoms we enjoy each and every day. But even as our words possess the power to create and to ennoble, so too, as this story teaches, do they have the power to destroy. As the man who sought forgiveness so earnestly from the rabbi soon discovered, he couldn't repair every reputation he had damaged. He couldn't undo every ounce of shame he had brought, nor could he erase the malicious example he set for others through his thoughtless gossip. This is precisely why our tradition urges us to guard our words zealously and with care. As the prophet Jeremiah warns, "Chetz shachut lishonam," our tongues are deadly arrows, whose words once launched in thoughtlessness or in treachery can only cause harm. Our tradition holds such disdain for thoughtless speech that it has a special name for it, Lashon Hara, the evil tongue. But Lashon Hara includes far more than simple gossip. It includes any statement, spoken or written or gestured, that could potentially embarrass, insult, imperil, or mislead another. From gossip to slander, to derogatory nicknames, to insincere complaints, to haggling with a business owner over an article we don't mean to buy. It doesn't matter if it's true or false. It doesn't matter if it's a comment or a group text or an Instagram post. If it misleads someone intentionally or not. If it causes human suffering intentionally or not, then we have spoken Lashon Hara. We have unleashed the evil tongue upon our world. And yet, we do it so casually and so often. Sometimes we do it because we're afraid. Sometimes we do it because we're hurt. Sometimes we do it because we just want to exploit someone else for our own benefit, whether commercial or interpersonal, or even to build up our own sense of self-confidence. For me, it was Yelp reviews. Years ago, when my wife and I traveled somewhere warm, we'd typically spend a little time relaxing by the beach or by the pool. But I don't know how to relax. So I'd take out her phone and I'd write reviews on the places we stayed at or the restaurants we enjoyed. Often the reviews were superlative. But if we had a less than stellar experience, well, let's just say that neither my wife nor I knew just how viciously snarky I could get. I'm not sure why I took the time to write such scathing reviews. Upon reflection, I can only imagine what it feels like to read merciless appraisals of your livelihood in writing. Wait, I don't have to imagine that. I'm a rabbi. But I remain grateful that only a few people read these scathing reviews before I recognized them for what they truly were. Evidence of my own inability to guard against the seductive siren of Lashon Hara. This week's Parsha Ba'alotcha ends with perhaps the most infamous case of Lashon Hara found within our tradition, when Moses and Moses' siblings, Miriam and Aaron, privately disparaged their brother. ותדבר מרים ואהרון במשה על אודות האישה הכושית אשר לקח, כי אישה חושית לקח. Miriam and Moses criticized Moses. Oh, my apologies. Miriam and Aaron criticized Moses over the fact that the woman he married was a Cushite, a woman of color. They then proceeded to question his authority, observing that God has spoken through them as well, conveying their resentment towards Moses' privileged position among the people Israel. God quickly calls the two siblings to account, revealing their salacious discussion to Moses and afflicting Miriam with leprosy, illustrating two sobering aspects of our relationship with Lashon Hara. First, our tradition categorically disapproves of Lashon Hara in any and all circumstances. What Miriam and Aaron said was true. He did marry a woman of color. It's still Lashon Hara. What Miriam and Aaron said was private. They were only talking to each other. It's still Lashon Hara. When we gossip, when we speculate, when we mislead, when we publicly criticize or condemn, when we embarrass, it can be a whisper between friends. It's still Lashon Hara. It can be a post to our school or camp WhatsApp group. It's still Lashon Hara. Or it can be a Yelp review. It's still Lashon Hara. Second, the allure of Lashon Hara may affect any of us. Even Aaron and Miriam, leaders of our people, models of virtue for 3 millennia, once beset by jealousy, quickly turned their tongues to vilifying their own brother. So how can we hope to succeed where they failed? How can we possibly hope to avoid succumbing to Lashon Hara when even the greatest figures from our tradition do so? For inspiration, we can turn to the psalmist who writes, Mi ha'ish hechafetz chaim Ohev yamim lir'ot tov, netzor leshoncha mera, usfatecha midaber mirma. Who delights in life, who craves to see their days filled with goodness? You who guard your tongue from evil, your lips from speaking deceit. The way to keep Lashon Hara at bay, according to our tradition, is through the constant vigilance of a sentinel. Like a sergeant at arms, we must treat our words like weapons, to be retrieved with care, used with scrutiny, and returned to their lockbox immediately thereafter, ever mindful of the dangers they pose to us and to the world. This week and 2 weeks hence, we celebrate our nation's independence. We revel in our freedoms. But our tradition reminds us that just because we're blessed to live in a country in which we are free to say whatever we want doesn't mean that we should say whatever we want. Rather, we must guard our tongues from evil, our fingers from typing or texting deceit. In so doing, may we too become the Chafetz Chaim, those who delight in life and live to see their days filled with goodness. Shabbat Shalom. Before we turn to our prayer for the safe return of our hostages, I'd like to offer a prayer for the United States of America on its celebration of Juneteenth. Source of redemption, we step forward in humility and in gratitude to sing a song of freedom. We sing of an ancient people once enslaved in Egypt, redeemed by your mighty hand and outstretched arm. We sing of a recent people enslaved on these very shores, redeemed through your message of freedom for all. We sing of an ancient promise once returned to a people who sought a refuge for 2 millennia. And we sing of a still unfulfilled promise to those still enslaved, to those still denied a seat at the table of opportunity. We sing a still unfulfilled promise to open the walkways to life, liberty, and happiness to all who would embark upon them. We sing of an unfulfilled promise to unlock every chain of bondage and to unfasten every bridle that binds. May we be worthy of this promise, and may we walk the path together, away from every Egypt, away from every Galveston, away from every Selma and every diaspora, toward your light shining forth from every mountainside, where one day freedom will truly ring. And together we say, Amen. We invite you now to turn to your handouts as we sing and pray for the safe return of our brothers and sisters.
Achenu, our brothers, Achenu,
Ori Danino.
Achotenu, our sisters, Achotenu,
David Eviatar.
Achenu, our brothers, Achenu,
Deker Chen Sagi.
Achotenu, our sisters, Achotenu,
Carmen Sukkot.
Wherever you are,
Bechol
whatever
makom
we must do,
uvechol
we are
shah.
always there with you.
We are with you, our brothers, Achenu. We are with you, our sisters, Achiotenu.
From the darkness to the light,
We are
from the
with you.
darkness to the light,
We are
from the
with you.
darkness to the light.
Make everything alright. We are
From the
with you.
darkness to the light,
We are
from the
with
darkness
you.
to the light,
We are
from the
with
darkness
you.
to the light.
Make everything alright. We are with you.
On this Shabbat, we have prayed prayers of urgency, prayers for deliverance, prayers for freedom, prayers for rescue, prayers for health and safety. We also, thank you, we also pray prayers of joy. And if you are celebrating something special in your life, we want to celebrate together with you on this Shabbat. I know of at least 2 birthdays. I know of a conversion. So if you've got something special going on this week, let us know. Come on. Yes.
Mazel
I think
tov.
that deserves some applause. 59 years. What else do we have?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Other celebrations.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. May her life be celebrated now and always. We're going to invite everyone to please rise. If you're celebrating, come up and grab a glass. If you're celebrating online, grab a glass of your own, whatever you're drinking, and please share with us what you're celebrating online so we can celebrate together. Words of Kiddush can be found on page 5. No, come on up. Yeah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'otanu kidasha mikol hamim v'shabbat kodecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat lechaim. We continue with the Aleinu. Please rise. You're already standing. Look at that. You don't need to rise. On page 282. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol latetz gedula leotzer bereshit shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama shelo sam chelkenu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim לפני מלך מלכי המלאכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Thoughts as we prepare for Kaddish Yatom on page 288. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, by letting go of children that need to be free. Because love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We take a moment now to honor all those who are in mourning. If you are currently sitting Shiva, the first week of mourning the loss of a loved one, or in Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning a loved one, or in the first year of a loved one's passing, if you are joining us online, we ask you to share the name of your loved one. If you are here with us tonight, we invite you to please stand and share the name of the loved one whom you are remembering together with us. Thank you for honoring her with us. Thank you for honoring him with us. Thank you for honoring them with us. Thank you for honoring her memory together with us. Thank you. It's okay. One of first row first. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now we want to invite all those who are currently observing a Yortzeit, the anniversary of a loved one's passing, to either mention the name online or to please rise. And for the... Thank you. You don't have to say it. It's okay. I know. Thank you for honoring them with us tonight. Thank you. We now turn to page 294. We invite all of those for whom it is your custom to please rise with our mourners as we recite words of Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Bi'alma divra chirotei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayei chon u'v'yomei chon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. V'agala u'v'zman kari v'imru Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam v'olmei olamaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpo'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudisha. Brichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. La'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Zichronam livracha. May the memories of our loved ones be a blessing for all of us, now and always. And together we say,
Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. Before we conclude our service this evening, we want to thank everyone who helped make tonight possible. Our amazing musicians, Tali and Jeff, as well as our incomparable cantorial interns, Andrew and Lauren. Lauren, it is wonderful to have you back for the summer. And if tonight is any indication, there will be a lot of prayerful nights on this mountaintop. Thank you for giving us this evening. We want to thank our audio and broadcast team, Roz, Mark, Brian, James, Andre, and Jay. And of course, we want to thank all of you who set aside your time to join us in welcoming Shabbat. We hope we get to see you right back here next week. We would love the opportunity to say hello and wish you a Shabbat Shalom in person before you head out. So please, after services, grab a piece of challah, linger for a moment before you head out, and give us a chance to come around. For those of you online, make sure to smash your subscribe button on whatever you're watching. Better yet, ask about joining our remote community Wise on the web. You won't be disappointed. We conclude our service this evening with words of Adon Olam, page 321. 321.
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivrach, Le'ed Nasa, B'chefza Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra, Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol, Levado, Imloch Nora, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Hoveh, Ve'hu Yeh, Ve'tifara. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa B'chefza Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yeh Ve'tifara. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa B'chefza Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Betifara, Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh, Betifara. Be'yado Av Kidruchi, Be'etishan, Be'ayira, Be'imruchi, Keviati, Adonai li, Adonai li, Elohira. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa B'chefza Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yeh Ve'tifara. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa B'chefza Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Betifara. Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Betifara. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
May you all be blessed
After
with days filled with goodness and delight in your lives. Shabbat Shalom.